Welcome to The Dose, your weekly hit of inspiration to fuel your confidence, tackle life's challenges, and live with purpose. I'm Dayle, here to share real stories, powerful insights, and practical steps to help you lead a life that feels true and empowered. Let's dive in. Your dose starts now. Do what you can and trust God with the rest. That's what I've been thinking about this week. Is focus on what's in our hands. What's in your hands today? What can you do now? It's easy to get caught up in trying to control everything. Trust me, I've got 6 kids and a husband, and I often say, if you just do what I tell you, everything would be all right. They just roll their eyes at me and go, yeah, whatever, Mum. But the truth is, we can't control everything. But what we can do is focus on the things that are in our hand, that we are truly within our control, and what God says we're responsible for. That's our attitudes, our actions, and how we respond to life's challenges. We can't control everything or everyone else, but we can be responsible for how we respond to life. When we choose to focus on what we can handle, we unlock that deep sense of peace and happiness that comes from knowing that we're doing our best and we've done what God asked of us, not of everybody else, us. So focus on what's in your hands and what you can do. Think about what can you do today. Take a moment and think, what's one thing that I can do today? It might be something simple like finishing a task or showing kindness or choosing to respond with grace to someone or a situation. These small actions will add up, and when you focus on them, you'll stop wasting your energy on things that are out of your control, and you get to live in the present and enjoy the process of doing what's possible right now. What can you do today, and what's in your hands? And then let go and trust the process. You know that song from Frozen, Let It Go? It's actually a really apt song for life, because here's a key. Do what you can and leave the rest in God's hands. Trying to control every aspect of our life only leads to stress and anxiety, and it's exhausting. And to be honest, it makes us grumpy. When we release what we can't control and leave it in God's very, very capable hands, He'll just take it off our hands. He's the one that works everything out. He's the one that holds everything together. But He can only do that when we release it into His loving care. He is at work in the things that we can't see. He's always at work in the background. We think nothing's happening, and yet it is. You know, you think about a seed when you plant it, and it's down there in the dirt, in the dark, and you wonder if anything's ever happening. But it's made to produce. It's made to germinate. It's made to sprout and produce fruit. And it's a bit like that with our life. Sometimes it's in the background. It's in the dark places where we can't see the seeds of the things that God's planted in our life doing anything. But it's in the darkness, in the hidden places where God is working, in those places where we go, what is going on? That He brings light. He brings it at its right time, and He makes everything work out. And so you can trust Him that He's working in the background. You can trust Him with everything that, I can't do anymore, God. This is what you've asked me to do today. This is what's in my hand. This is what I can do. And then trust Him with the rest. We're free to enjoy our day then without carrying unnecessary burdens or responsibilities that He never designed us or purposed us to do or to even worry about. So let go and trust the process. If He's planted in your heart, if He's called you to it, He's going to work all things together for your good. And then rest where you need to. It's okay to take breaks and rest along the way in life's journey. You don't need to do everything in one day or get it all perfect. God knows exactly where you're at, and He's given you grace for the day, for this part of your journey, for this season. Learn to rest when you need it. Trust in His timing and know that what's beyond your reach is in His very capable hand. It's a really big thing, and I guess in the world where everything's hurry, scurry around, and it's like you're on a treadmill all the time, it can be a hard thing to really discipline ourselves to rest. But it's, God made a Sabbath for a reason. It was to teach us to rest, and that take a break. Prosper your soul. Do things that energize you. Do things that lift you up and replenish you. Because otherwise, it's easy to do a short sprint in life, but it's the marathon. It's the long distance. It's the faithfulness in the long haul and consistency that really produces the biggest fruit and the biggest rewards in life. So rest where you need to rest and discipline yourself to do that, because it's so important to be able to do life well in the long run. And then go and enjoy your day. By focusing on what you can control and trusting God with the rest, you free yourself to fully enjoy the day He's given you. You no longer have to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. Instead, you're partnering with God, doing your part and leaving the rest to Him. And that's where true contentment is found. So when you're looking at your life, think about it like that. You're actually partnering with God to do your part and let Him do His. Don't carry things that He has never intended you to. His yoke, Jesus said, is light and easy. Not just a weight loss thing. It's like His burden, His yoke is light and easy, and He carries the heavy load. He never intended for us to go through dragging ourselves and just existing. He wants us to run through life, to run our race well, and to be smiling at the end of it. And that's why He says, you do what I ask you to do. You partner with me. You do your part. What's in your hand? What can you do? Learn to rest, learn to trust the process, and then leave the rest to Him. And that's where you'll have peace and rest for your soul. Colossians 3:23 says it this way: whatever you do, work heartily, as if for the Lord and not for men. So whatever you do it with all your heart, but do it for Jesus, knowing that He's there walking alongside you. And Philippians 4:6-7 is a great one. It says, do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. And the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. It doesn't mean that it's going to be smooth sailing. It doesn't mean that you're not going to face trials. But, even in the midst of this storm, Jesus teaches us. And if we learn from Him, and that's what He wants to lead us in life, that He wants us to learn from Him. He was asleep in the back of the boat when all the disciples were having a freak out in the middle of a storm. Jesus was asleep. And He says, you can come to Him and have peace in the midst of everything, surpassing all understanding, because He is there with you. So don't be anxious about everything, but pray about everything and bring what you need to Him. So today, I encourage you, focus on what's in your hands. What can you do today? There's one thing that you can do today. Finishing a task, showing kindness, forgiving, choosing to respond with grace. What are the little actions that you can do today to keep on walking in your journey? And then when you've done that, let go of all the rest and trust the process that God's going to take care of it. Rest when you need to, and then go and enjoy your day, because it's a beautiful one. Have a great one today. Thanks for tuning into The Dose by Dayle Kinney. I hope today's episode left you feeling inspired and ready to take on whatever comes next. If you enjoyed this dose of insight and motivation, be sure to subscribe and share it with someone who could use a little encouragement too. Until next time, remember, live with purpose, embrace the journey, and keep pushing forward. Take care, and see you in the next episode.